but there will be some really good bottles to purchase this year.
I feel like when word gets out about that, the lines, the people that like show up, that
People spend the night. Like, it blows my mind sometimes to see the amount of people that come here just to buy. Well, I mean, it's the world's best bourbon here.
some of these places they don't do tours, so to have an event on property is a really big deal. One of those is Barton 1792.
Yes. Iconic brand, been around for a very long time. So we're excited that they'll have something special in the Brandy on the Penthouse during the week. So you'll get to spend the morning or afternoon with Ross, who is their master distiller. So not your normal, you can't just walk in there and do a tasting, but you can come and spend the day with us and taste with Ross and taste some 1792.
Heaven Hill is a big one that's gone through so many renovations, and they have a beautiful restaurant on site, a beautiful kind of immersive experience where you can bottle your own. What events do they have there on site?
So they have the tailgating event out there at Heaven Hill, so it'll kind of coincide with Father's Day. That's the first time they've done this one, so we're super excited. They just filled their first barrel in the New Springs Distillery, so that is opening soon here in Bardstown. So, since the fire, they haven't bottled here in Bardstown, so we're super excited to be getting that back here in Nelson County for sure.
Maker's Mark, always a favorite on the Bourbon Trail. They have they're hosting kind of the newest event.
They'll be at the Penthouse too. A lot of the events, the smaller, intimate events, will be held at the Penthouse. It's a small area. You get, to mingle with other bourbon lovers, influencers, podcasters, and then also spend some time with the Maker's Mark team.
Which is, I think, to have those conversations. What do people I don't think people realize that when you visit Bardstown and you visit any of the distilleries, you can have a conversation with a master distiller.
It's normal. You can walk into a distillery at any given time and they just may be walking around. So I feel like that sets us apart. That's not the norm, to walk into a distillery and see Fred, Freddie, John, like any of them. It's just not something that happens all the time. But here in Bardstown, it happens almost daily.
Those are just some of the distillery events that you have all week long. The newest thing that you have is this bourbon mashup, which, when you think bourbon now, we talked about some of the pairings and the food, you're really bringing together the biggest chefs to complement the biggest brands.
Exactly. That's a new event for us. I know Sam's going to be on here in a little bit to talk about it, but this is the first year. It's part of the Bourbon Capital Alliance. So he is hosting that event. There'll be really good turnout. We're going to get a lot of really great media coverage on that event. And you're going to get to mingle, same thing, with the master distillers, the rock stars.
If somebody is visiting for the very first time, National Bourbon Week, where do you suggest that they begin, and just to get completely immersed in not only the distillery experiences, but the culture of Bardstown, Kentucky?
I think the Oscar Getz Museum of Whiskey History is a really good place to start. Learn about what we looked like prior to Prohibition and what we looked like after Prohibition. There was a decline in the distilleries and we lost some, and then we've built it back up to where it is now. You can see artifacts. There's so much in that museum. You can learn all about bourbon. You can learn about Bardstown and how we became the bourbon capital of the world there. And of course, our Main Street. I mean, the most beautiful small town in America. Walk down our Main Street, all, locally owned businesses. You're not going to have your chain restaurants or shops. It's all locally owned, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful town.
And plenty of places where you can grab a bourbon or two.
You can grab bourbon. We have some bourbon bars down there. We have the Talbot Tavern, the oldest bourbon bar in the world. Jesse James was a frequent visitor there. Shot a hole in the wall, drank too much bourbon.
Yeah.
I mean, he thought birds were flying at him. It was just a mural, but, those bullet holes still